We've got Zuri Blackman in the corner for Zuri, and the rest of the Blackman family in the front row.
You can see Zuri's much more comfortable with fighting than walking out, bless her.
Yeah. Which is a very dynamic open guard game.
And I mean, one thing we potentially have to consider here is not just the difference in general styles in grappling between a pure grappler and someone who is sort of more trained in MMA grappling, but also the fact that this is in the gi, so you've got to think that the advantage is going to go towards Zuri a little bit more than it is Katie.
Generally, the MMA fighters like to be on top, which, well, we're seeing already, but also, you know, you don't really want to be stuck inside somebody's closed guard in the gi, and when they're, you know, got a very good guard as well.
I think there's also that physicality element of coming from an MMA background too. Always sort of looking to push the pace, which again in no gi can transfer across.
Much easier to do than in the gi, and you can see already Zuri Blackman trying to slow this the pace of this match down, taking deep collar controls. And if you're not used to dealing with this sort of technical gi guard game, especially a modern guard game, you know, you're thinking
the way she's getting this grip, really coming up on the hook and straight to sweep to the mount.
Nothing about the modern jiu-jitsu game is that one of the oldest tricks in the book, the old hip bump sweep from closed guard into the mount, and a great mount position here.
Nice and dominant from Zuri, really low on the hip position.
And Katie's really trying to bring her elbow in here, trying to make the space to escape, but that looks heavy.
Yeah, and when you talk about, as you said, Sam, the physicality that comes from that more of an MMA background, I mean, we don't want to get too much into calling Katie an MMA fighter. She is only 15 years old, so it's not like she has 20 years of MMA experience behind her, but certainly is one of the things, you know, her focus is divided a little bit more. But generally they do have very good defenses to the basic positions, such as side control and especially mount. Mount is such a terrible position in MMA, even more so than it is in gi jiu-jitsu, and we're seeing their sort of dynamic escapes, a lot of hip bumps expect for someone from more of an MMA background.
She made some, she did an excellent attempt to make some space here. She just neglected to hip escape out a little bit. But maybe she can generate some movement again. But right now she's getting to get her arms trapped by Zuri. The more she's bridging, the more Zuri is slowly beginning to climb herself up and isolate these arms. It's becoming quite a struggle.
Yeah, Katie doing a pretty good job underneath to stop Zuri from really advancing any positional dominance, especially with the hands. But she does need to be careful about exposing those arms a little bit, and certainly about exposing the back.
Yeah, it's the risk-reward balance, isn't it? Do you know, throw all in and risk sort of giving up your back position or exposing an arm or an elbow?
She did a good job of, Katie did a good job on her left-hand side there of getting her forearm frames on the inside of the legs of Blackman. She's trying to do it now on her right-hand side, and what you want to use this for is to create a frame that allows you to then transition into a quarter guard or half guard and start working, start building on something.
She did have a grip of the sleeve there, which unfortunately she's lost them, but sometimes you can also really push that sleeve into the hip and manage to get the person over. I quite like that escape.
Just 1 minute left in this match. So far, I don't think we've seen any submission attempts, but obviously the positional dominance very, very much one-way traffic from Zuri Blackman.
So you could have the option here of starting to work some chokes, which would then bring up the arms so she can start to isolate. At the moment, we're kind of telegraphing we're trying to isolate an arm.
Yeah, I do feel like Zuri perhaps not taking full advantage of the fact that she's in the gi and she has the ability to, she was just about the arm bar just as I was saying that. But she's not taking advantage of the fact that the collar choke threat opens up the arms so much more effectively than trying to attack the arms directly. She does have a shallow figure four on this arm now, and with 20 seconds left, I think there's a good chance that she will fall to the side and try and finish this arm bar if she's going to do it. And Katie doing a good job of causing enough distraction with the hip bump to force Zuri to release that arm control. So it looks like we're going to run the clock out here. No submission attempts really. but certainly a dominant performance by Zuri Blackman.
Yeah. Let's see what the judges have to say.
You know, a very tidy performance, and I mean, credit to Katie Jones for her defensive work there. I mean, the issue is when you have someone who has very good defense, it can make your jiu-jitsu not look quite as good as it is. We know how good Zuri Blackman's grappling is, so for Katie to kind of neutralize her, positionally lose certainly, but neutralize all of those submission attempts is a credit to her defensive grappling.
There's that loop choke, which she just lost, but it did look deep for a little while.
Oh yeah, I guess we could count that loop choke.
A nice hip bump sweep here, yeah.
I forget that gi chokes are a real submission. I consider them only half.
And so your winner, ladies and gentlemen, by judges' decision, fighting out of the blue corner, it's Zuri Blackman!
As expected, a good victory for Zuri Blackman. Not able to get the submission, but pretty much everything but.
Still a great debut on your first show.
Yeah, look good.